Welcome to Yin Massage. Today's class is going to really help us hone in on our hurts and allow them to go. There's been so much trauma and pain that's been processed over the last year. But if we think back to our lives, there's a lot of what we would call trauma, or the way I interpret it, an experience where the emotion is so overwhelming, we don't really have the words or the capability to process it at the time. And so that energy gets lodged in our bodies and our minds. And what also happens is we're scared to go to that place. Things that remind us of that overwhelming experience, typically negative, can come back up. And that memory lives in the body, in the brain. And what I want to do today is offer a method through yin and through meditation to help us identify where in our body and where in our minds we're holding on to those hurts, past, recent, and look at a way to mend our heart by integrating that pinched off piece of us back in. So this technique will blend some methods from psychology, yoga, coaching, meditation to really help us heal. So for today, we're going to need some props. If you have a couple of blankets, one big, one small, I'd get those. A couple of blocks you'll want, as well as a bolster. So that can just be a long padded cushion, or just a couple of pillows work for a bolster as well. You can have a seat cushion. I would recommend one for one of the poses. You might want your hips elevated a bit. So it is a prop heavy day. There's not a ton of movements, just 6 postures that we're really gonna go into with depth and intention. So take the time now to grab your props. Pause if you need to. And we're going to come in. We're going to start to mend the heart. So if you were like me and you were sitting on a cushion, move it out of the way. Grab your 2 blocks and position them as if you were setting up for that open heart posture. So 1 block on the medium setting or the low setting if you need it. 1 block on the high setting. So this is going to help us support our chest. So you want to have that prepped and ready. Then take your smaller blanket. Put your feet into this butterfly-like posture. Take the blanket and kind of roll it or have it tied long ways. You're going to place it over the feet and the ankles like this. Then bring both sides under so that the 2 ends are underneath the knees, coming up like this. And then kind of pull them so that the blanket comes a little tighter to bound the ankles together. And then just place them over like this. If you want a little extra security, you can tuck the ends, but this is just to help the feet stay where they are. If this is too much on your hips or your knees, you can place another set of blocks or some books or something elevated under your hips or your knees. Once your bound butterfly is intact, simply lie down on your reclined posture. Now, a bolster is going to be the most effective because you're actually going to be reclined as opposed to this just kind of open heart posture, but not everyone has a bolster or has an instrument that does that. If you have a yoga bolster, use it. Otherwise, a pillow or two. The key is just keeping the heart elevated. So here we're gradually opening the hips and the heart. So once you found that position, let your arms go wide, palms up to the sky. And with your head rested, you should feel fairly comfortable here. It will start out as a know-nothing sensation. We're going to hold here for about 8 minutes. And so first, let's just drop in. We're going to do some 3-part Dirga breathing to calm us and bring us into this moment. And so we're going to exhale all the breath out. Inhale through the nose and inhale into the belly. Once the belly's full, inhale into the ribs. Once the ribs are full, inhale into the chest. And now exhale, chest, ribs, belly. Blow out all the air. Inhale, belly, ribs, chest. Exhale, chest, ribs, belly. And you want to think of them as like almost 3 separate containers. And once one gets filled, you kind of go up to the next one. So let's do that all together once more and then on your own. So blow out all the air. Inhale, belly, ribs, chest. Exhale, chest, ribs, belly. And now go on your own at your own pace. Make the breathing gentle, relax, let your shoulders relaxed. Just feel your chest begin to open, relax. Let your shoulders sink, tops of your hands release into the floor, let the hips go. Going with your Dirga breathing. Just allow your body to soften as gravity slowly lets the muscles, bones, and ligaments stretch out and open. Feel comfort, feel safety. Allow yourself this brief time to explore the depths of your mind and your body with the intention to heal, which is the intention to integrate yourself, to energize yourself, to feel whole, complete together. Now, once you complete your last round of Dirga breathing, And if your head needs more elevation, feel free to add a second pillow, add to the incline, or just come down onto the blocks. I'm actually going to make that adjustment, but stay where you are, wherever you need to be. And now we're just going to do a little body scan. So start from the top of the head and just bring attention to the crown of your head, the very top of your scalp. Now bring your attention down to your forehead, the back of your head, and just notice what feels good, what feels tense, what images or words might come up, and you don't need to remember anything, just notice. Scan your face, your jaw, back of your head, your neck. Bring your attention to your shoulders, to your chest and your upper back, to your upper arm, elbows, lower arms, wrists, hands and fingers. Bring your attention to the middle of your chest, around your ribs, to the middle of your back and your spine, to your belly and your low back. Bring your attention to your pelvis, sex organs, to your glutes, to your inner thighs, hamstrings, knees, calves, shins, ankles, heels, soles of your feet, tops of the feet, toes. Now work back up. Put your attention on your toes, through your feet, up to your lower leg, your upper leg, your pelvis, your belly and low back, your ribs and mid-back, your hands and arms, your shoulders, your chest and upper back, your neck, face, jaw, back of the head, top of the head. So just begin to notice where you might feel some soreness, some pain, some clenching, gripping, any hurt. Could be in your head and your hips. We lodge pain physically in our bodies, and so it's important to notice where the icky parts are. And we do so in this pose of openness, surrender, safety, where we're taking time to peek inside to those areas we might have closed off because it was too hurtful to look at. And our concern right now is not with future hurt, future worries, but how to integrate where we are now. Think to yourself, what needs healing? If images and memories are coming up for you, that's okay. Note them and then bring your attention back to your body. Allow all those memories, images, thoughts, and emotions to come up. And then just bring attention to the parts of your body that you know you need to focus on and look at. So you're not dismissing those compressed images. You're simply letting them float there. Take a deep breath in. Exhale out. Slowly use your elbows to come on up out of the posture very slowly. Untuck the small blanket to release the legs. Place it to the side. Move your blocks out of the way. So here, we're going to go into caterpillar. So if you want, you can elevate your hips on a cushion. I like to do so with these forward folds because my lower back's pretty tight. You want to keep the legs together, but if you find that there's pain, you can separate them out a little bit. For this, we're going to use a bolster or a couple of pillows. If you want, you can just use a pillow. This is just to help us come forward. So whichever tool is helpful for you and your flexibility right now. So legs out, arms forward, and slowly hinge forward to kind of get a nice, so keep the spine straight. You want to get that nice stretch in the top of the legs. I'm already feeling it from the glutes to the hamstrings. And then here, just let the back curl and the head come down. And you should feel a really nice engagement in the legs and the back. And just let the face and neck hang heavy. And from here, just inhale. Do your Ujjayi breathing. So pretend like you're fogging up a mirror or a piece of glass with your breath with that very audible. But do so with your mouth closed. So it kind of makes that ocean sound like you're listening inside of a shell. And with each exhale, just let your neck and head drop a little bit more. And if you want a little support for your head, you can grab a blanket or whatever might make sense. Because we're really not here for the full stretch. We really want to restore here. So you can use a blanket to support your head, and you may find over the course of the pose that you can remove it. So come into caterpillar. Use your Ujjayi breathing. Let the feet kind of go a little floppy. And let the sound be loud. Big inhales and exhales. With each exhale, your back and legs release a little more. We're going to be here for about 5 more minutes. And whatever happens with your thoughts, notice the parts that we're engaging here, the back, the legs, the hips. Just breathe into those spaces, those foundational spaces that hold you, that support you, that keep you steady. And allow the breath to be louder than the thinking mind. Let the pose get softer in your body and in your mind. Feel calm and relaxed. Be able to observe, watch, and notice thoughts and emotions. Despite their electrical charge, you have space and distance from them. Good. Now release your Ujjayi breathing and let your breath return to normal. And just hold in the pose. And bring attention to whatever part of your body is asking for it right now. Could be your neck, could be your back, could be your calf, could be your face, brain, stomach, whatever it is that says, hey, pay attention to me. Whatever trauma we've incorporated into our body, it's important that at some point in our life, we reconcile it. We often identify with the wound. We identify with the hurt, a relationship that ended, with the loss of a loved one, grief, national tragedy, violence. Or it could be a buildup of hurt. And we often say, that's who I am, that's my past. It's part of me. And it indeed is part. But it's part of your energy field, not a part of who you are as a person. It's energy from the world coming in, us being unable to process it, so we lodge it. And slowly over time, it weaves its way into our nervous system, into our mind, into our behaviors, our aversions, and the things we go after. So the things we run from and the things we chase creeps like a poison. So it's important to not identify with the poison, because it's simply energy. It's just energy that's been transmitted into a version that draws other energy from us. It creates a conflict within us of who we know we are, which is strong, capable, generous, loving, wise, and a part of us that feels hopeless, powerless, sick, defeated, scared. And as you soften into this caterpillar pose, soften the edges around your identification with that main wound that's coming up for you right now, or Whatever hurts you might be observing, could be 1, could be 1,000, could be 5, could be 100. But breathe into it. Know that that is not happening now. That in large part it is adrenaline memory captured in your muscles and your tissues, being replayed now, and you have space and distance from it. Soften the grip around saying, "This is who I am," and instead think, "This is part of my energy. This is part of the very natural dichotomy and contradiction within humans as a part of living." Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Come on up. You can move the pillow out of the way, the cushion. Slowly move your legs. Come into rock pose. So here you want to place a bolster behind you. Let your feet go a little wide. We're going to go into a pretty intense thigh stretch. So, in reclined hero pose, if you need to, bring one leg out and just come down on one leg. You might need more support. You might need to put a couple pillows or a blanket underneath your bolster to keep your body more elevated so that your hips are more elevated. That's perfectly fine. Over time, you'll get to the full expression of this, which is without a bolster. But for today, the farthest I want you to go is just having a bolster here. Knees as close together. And when you come back onto your elbows first. Your knees should stay on the ground. If the knees start to come up, you're too low. Bring a pillow on top. You'll get there. So lean back. Shoulders open, palms open. Close your eyes. And just breathe into the thighs. Feel supported in your back. Feel open in your heart. You are safe. You are calm. You're on the edge, the leading edge of health. So as we soften our identities around these wounds, we begin to understand them, that the wounds are just ideas the mind creates to form separation. This pain, this trauma energy is simply separate energy cut off. We're pinched off. If you imagine your body as one large circuit board of energy and electricity, it's like having a sector down, and so you're not on at full power. And we create these separations because it was too hard to deal with then. And to go back in, we don't really know where the switchboard is off. We're only going to hold this pose for 3 more minutes. So hang in there. You got this. So this practice lets us go in and say, this part of the body, this part of the mind, that's where the switch is off. It's not bad or good, but I'm holding energy there that is not able to connect. And I've created an image around this identity, this energy, as scary, as fearful, as if I go to this dark sector, this switched off place, I might get hurt again. I invite you to use your courage and relaxation to go to this hurt or this wound, this place in your mind, this location in the body. Could be both, could be one or the other. And I invite you to turn the lights on. And we do that by acknowledging that there was a disturbance, acknowledging that for the most part, we are already fully healed, fully integrated as a piece of energy, as a human being. Otherwise, we couldn't get out of bed in the morning. So you're there. You are 98% there. We just need to go into some of these rooms, some of these sectors on this grid, and just turn the lights on. So know that bad feeling is just simply your body's response to being pinched off from its full self. So release. Whatever people are there, images are there. Use your expanded heart and softened heart to forgive. To let them go, to let the ghosts of the past stay there, to no longer occupy your current beautiful life experience. Breathe them in, exhale them out. Breathe them in, exhale them out. Say, thank you, I am healed. Thank you, I am healed there. Thank you, I am integrated now. Slowly come up onto your elbows. Push yourself up very slowly from this posture. Let the back come up, the spine come up. Come out onto your left hip or right hip and slowly swing your feet forward as the blood rushes back into your legs and your knees. That was an intense one. So we got one more pose before our Shavasana. You can use a bolster, a cushion, pillow. I'm going to use a cushion. It's a supported Sphinx pose. We're just going to be here for 3-4 minutes. So let your legs come straight back. Let the cushion come down onto your belly and your ribs. Let the elbows come under the shoulders, palms on the floor, tops of the feet on the floor. Here you can just let the neck and head hang heavy. As this gentle back bend. And keep, this is the only pose we just want to add a little bit of resistance into the ground. Use a little bit of strength to push into the arms to keep that back elevated for just a gentle back bend. So we've noticed and become aware of our pain points. We've had the courage and the grace to go there, understand it as pinched off energy, allow our barriers and fears around it to dissolve, and allow the full grid to come back online integrated. And your body is saying thank you. Your mind is saying thank you, that I will be able to worry less. I will fear less. I will love more. I will feel more alive. We cannot repress pain, but we cannot allow it to be energy that's pinched off for too long. So acknowledge the work you've already done to bring your full self back online. We allow the hurts to come so that we can see them not as hurts, but as trapped energy to be reintegrated into the body. And as we become in control of this process, we're no longer overtaken as strongly by these emotions, by our triggers, by new things that come to us. We have a resilience, we have a strength, because our energy is more fully integrated, our mind and body is more fully integrated. And so with the strength of that core, we are powerful, we are alive. And as new challenges and curveballs and potentially overwhelming experiences come our way, which they assuredly will, we brace them like a surfer hitting a big wave, no longer fearful or doubtful of the undertow, but confident in our own abilities to ride the wave to the shore. Come on out. And so now, if you have that big blanket, grab it. If you have that pillow, use a pillow, cushion, bolster, whichever is more comfortable. We're going to come down into Shavasana. Let your legs come straight out so that your knees are on top of the pillow, so knees elevated. Take your big blanket now. Use it to cover yourself. If you want, you can use the other blanket to make a small pillow. And get comfortable and warm. You can let your hands come on out to the sides, palms facing up. You can cover your full self in the blanket. And just let everything sink and feel heavy in the floor. Allow yourself to feel lighter now that you've released tension in the body through these yin postures, thoughts and emotions that are lodged in your muscles and bones and tissues. We've acknowledged them. We've allowed them to go. We've reconnected more of the circuit boards than we had before. You're supported and safe on the floor. The earth gives you support and grounds you. You bring your attention to your breath. Thank the breath for giving us life. We're all guaranteed an exhale, but we're not all guaranteed an inhale. So be thankful for each one. And be thankful that it allows us to exhale and release that which we don't want anymore. Which is an unintegrated self. And as you lie here in meditation, consider all the wonderful things that you've been able to experience in your life. Your adventures, your travels, people, mentors, friends, celebrations, milestones, successes. Relax even deeper and acknowledge all those wonderful gifts that you possess that allowed those things to happen and will allow more great things to occur in the future. Your wonderful qualities of generosity and compassion, humor, storytelling, ease, patience, your various talents, how you serve others, how you serve yourself, the people you help, your thoughtfulness. Just make a list and embrace and appreciate every positive quality about you. Smile. Know that your true identity is as a healed person, as a fully integrated, complete, and perfect person. That at times we get focused on parts of ourselves that don't feel so good, that are separated from who we really are. It's that focus on the incomplete aspect of us that can draw us down. We can lose that perspective. But know that you have this practice and you have the tools to go in and do the work, to turn the lights on, to turn your whole body and mind on, to power up, feel alive, and feel eager and excited for what's coming next for you. You can continue to lie here in Shavasana. May you find health and calm and self-love and appreciation of yourself and the world you live in. May you feel blessed. May you feel joyful. and grateful for all that you are and all that you are becoming. Have a wonderful rest of your day or evening. Peace and light to you. Namaste.